So you may think that being in an RV, there's no way that you would have the space to cut and sew products that you can sell online. Well, you'd be wrong. Coming up, I'm going to show you exactly how I cut and sew products in order to ship them out and sell them from right here in the RV. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Lawren and I have a clothing collection called Lawren the Show. Sometimes I make videos where I share my tips and tricks and kind of just some of my adventures or anything that I think is just kind of cool or that you guys might be interested in. So when I knew that we were going to be coming into this RV, one concern for me was I ship and sell a lot of products every day. And when I was doing a little research just on YouTube or online, a lot of people who were in their RV full-time, at least for a period of time, they either worked in IT or they were doing graphic design or they were doing like drop shipping. So that's all well and good. However, a lot of the products that I actually sell online, I design the product, I cut the product, I sew the product, I ship the product. How do you do it in a space that's really small like this? So today I'm going to show you, I had some net gaiters that I needed to get out. I'm going to make some more of those. I'm actually going to pull the serger out today instead of the sewing machine, but same deal. I have the machine here, no issues setting it up. So one thing I want to be clear about too with sewing is the only reason I'm able to run the machines is because right now I'm currently plugged into shore power, which means that there's an external outlet that I plug the RV into in order to get power. If I was boondocking or if I was out in like the wilderness somewhere, the only way that I could run my serger or sewing machine or even my thermal printer or basically anything that needs power is I would have to actually start and run my generator in order to have that power to make those appliances work. So for the purpose of today, I'm plugged into shore power so we don't have any issues. Anyway, I know I got off on a tangent and you want to actually see me cut and sew. So we're going to get right into it. There is a little bit of setup. So I can cut directly on this table, but if I want to iron, I have the cover that goes with my, it's like a cutting kind of hobby table that expands. I'll post a link to that down below so you can see it. I can put that on there and it's pretty thick and it would protect the table. And I also, just for being a little paranoid and OCD, I usually put extra layers of cotton batting underneath, which is what a lot of quilters use, but it actually helps protect the table a little bit when I'm working. But for today, I'm just gonna put the fabric out. I'm gonna cut it out because this is a pretty easy, simple project. And I think it'll be easy for you to just get a sense of me working in here. Okay, so I actually have a good sized stack of these cut out. And before I bring the serger, I just wanted to go over a few things. One big difference between me sewing in the studio and sewing in here is I had an area where I cut, I had an area where I would iron, I had an area where I would sew, and then I had the serger set up separately. So I could essentially cut something out, sew it, run it through the serger, whatever. I could kind of go in a circle and just work on one item at a time. The major difference here is that I prefer to do what's called batching, basically where I will just spend an hour cutting and then I will just spend an hour at the sewing machine and then I'll spend maybe an hour at the serger, and then that way I have a larger bulk or quantity of things done, but I'm just doing one particular thing at a time versus doing everything at once. It could be argued that maybe that's like a little bit more efficient, but the issue is because I do have some limitations on space, I'm not able to just have everything set up at once. So I could have the sewing machine set up on this side of the table and the serger set up on this side. I do have room for that, but I picked a project where I just really needed one machine to do this. I don't really need the sewing machine at all because this is a knit, it's something that's stretched. And the serger is really kind of the right tool for that job. But the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is there is an outlet above me. You can see this cord, but I plugged a power strip into the outlet up here so that I just have more access points to plug things in, because there are only 2 outlets up there. But I have the power strip here, and that way if I do want to set both machines up at once, I can plug several things in at a time. So just something to be like kind of cognizant of if this is something that you want to do. Cool. So all I have to do is really kind of just fill in, sew up the little hole, turn it inside out, but perfect. Here we have a fully functional neck gaiter. I really just wanted to make this video because I wanted to show you how easy this was to do. It really didn't take a lot of setting up, other than I have the original boxes that these machines came in, because I really like the styrofoam that was in the box, just to like when we're driving, so that it's not like bouncing around or knocking into anything. And my reasoning was they shipped it with that styrofoam in there, so they must have figured that that was the best way to do it. And so far, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with damage from moving around with it or it bouncing around, so not too bad. Another reason I wanted to make this is because I know that we're in the middle of like a, you know, parallelogram, and there's been a lot of people who have maybe had to downsize, but they still want to maybe sew and sell things online, or they want to design, and they're worried that maybe their space is too small. So I really just wanted to kind of extend a little hope in that way, and that even if you have a small space, you can still follow your dream or do what you want to do. I mean, today I obviously just made something really simple and small like a neck gaiter, but maybe later I'll show you another video how I drape in here. I do have my dress form, just to show that in such a small space you can still work, you can still design. And if you are holding off because you're worried that you need a certain amount of space, or you feel like there's a certain criteria for layout in order to get this done, never fear, you can still do it. So all I really want to do is just show you guys that it's possible. So thank you guys for sticking around with me and for watching this video today. I hope that you found it interesting, or at least kind of fun to watch. Give it that thumbs up if you want to, subscribe, share it, whatever, all that good stuff. Go forth, be kind, be creative.